Hey everyone, you ever feel like you're just trying to find your way in this super chaotic modern world? Well, what if the compass we're looking for isn't new at all? Today, we're diving into some ancient wisdom, Hellenistic philosophy to be exact, to see if we can find some real practical tools for the challenges we're all facing right now. And our journey, maybe not so surprisingly, starts right in the heart of ancient Athens.
All right, I want you to picture something for me. You're sitting in Plaka, it's the old district of Athens, and the Acropolis is all lit up against this deep night sky. You can hear the city, you can smell it, but your mind starts to wander. You start imagining the gardens where Epicurus used to teach his friends, or the streets where Diogenes would have challenged pretty much anyone he met.
And then, in that moment, it kind of hits you. Those ancient voices, they were wrestling with the exact same question that we are today. In a world of constant change, uncertainty, pandemics, and just endless digital noise, how do you live a good life, a meaningful life? That's the big question we're digging into.
So let's start by looking at a couple of philosophies that really challenge our relationship with the world around us. The stuff we own, the things we want, and where we think we find true freedom.
First up, Cynicism. Now, I want you to completely forget the modern meaning of that word. The original Cynics, people like Diogenes of Sinope, they were absolute radicals. This is the guy who famously lived in a barrel and owned next to nothing. And he did it all to prove a point, that real freedom comes from living authentically, from living your values, not from buying more stuff. It's a massive challenge to our consumer-driven world. And this quote, man, it just cuts right through all the noise, doesn't it? It makes you ask a really tough question. Are my daily actions actually aligned with what I say I believe? According to the Cynics, that coherence, that consistency, that's where real dignity is found. Okay, next we have Epicureanism, which is probably one of the most misunderstood philosophies out there. We hear Epicurean, and we think of wild parties and indulgence, but that's not it at all. For Epicurus, the highest form of pleasure wasn't excess. It was tranquility. It was the simple, deep joys you find in good friendship, in real conversation, and in having a mind that's free from fear. It's such a simple but really powerful idea. The goal isn't just to pile up more and more experiences. The real goal is to get to a state of inner peace, of quiet contentment. It's all about finding that serene space in a world that is anything but quiet. All right, so if Cynicism and Epicureanism are about changing our relationship with the external world, our next philosophy takes a totally different route. It asks, how do you build an unshakable inner fortress no matter what life throws at you? And this, my friends, is the domain of Stoicism. Just think of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Here's the guy writing his private thoughts while leading an empire through war and plague. For him, Stoicism wasn't some passive, oh, well, that's life kind of thing. No, it was an active training in resilience. The key is to focus only on what you can actually control, your own character, your judgments, your actions. Everything else is outside your control. And this right here gets to the absolute heart of Stoic freedom. Look, possessions, your reputation, even your health, all of that can be taken away from you. But your virtue, your ability to act with justice and wisdom and courage, that is the one thing that belongs completely to you. And in that, the Stoics believed, you can find ultimate freedom. Okay, so we've got some tools for our desires and our resilience. But what about navigating the sheer volume of information, opinions, and, let's be real, misinformation that just bombards us every single day? This is where skepticism comes in. The philosopher Pyrrho had this idea that when you're faced with all these conflicting claims and tons of uncertainty, the wisest move is actually to just suspend your judgment. And this isn't about giving up or being apathetic. It's a practical tool to keep yourself from being manipulated by fake news or angry rhetoric. It's about taking a breath before you decide you know the answer. I love this quote because it totally reframes doubt as a strength. It's not about getting stuck and doing nothing. It's about being cautious, being thoughtful, and honestly, preserving your own peace of mind by realizing you don't need to have a hot take on every single thing right now.
And finally, we've got Neoplatonism. This school of thought, which was inspired by Plato, is all about seeking unity and transcendence. It speaks to that feeling, and I think we all get it sometimes, that in our fragmented, purely material world, something is missing, that there's a spiritual side to life we just kind of ignore. It's a call to connect with something bigger than ourselves.
Wow, I mean, this feels more relevant today than ever before, right? In our constant rush for progress and efficiency, it's so easy to forget that we have this deep human need for beauty, for quiet moments to just think, and for a sense of wonder. Neoplatonism is basically begging us to restore that balance in our lives.
So, we've got these 5 powerful ancient schools of thought. And the goal here isn't to just pick one, declare, I'm a Stoic, and call it a day. The real magic happens when you start to weave their lessons together to fit your own life. This is how we can start to build what the source material calls a vital map. It's not about choosing one single path, but about drawing from the best of each of them. You can take the Cynic's courage to focus only on what's essential, the Epicurean's love for the serenity of friendship, the Stoic's unshakable inner strength, the skeptic's careful prudence, and the Neoplatonist's openness to beauty and mystery. When you put them all together, you get a personal compass. Which really brings us to the core message of this whole thing. In the middle of all the noise and confusion of modern life, philosophy isn't some dusty academic luxury. It's a deeply practical tool. It is a compass, here to help you navigate your life with a little more purpose and a little more clarity. So, the final question really is for you. As you navigate all the complexities of your life, as you build your own map from these ideas and others, you've got to ask yourself, what direction is your compass pointing?